This investigation is discovering the cosine law. And the first thing you're going to have to do is open up Geometry Sketchpad, and under the Edit menu, you're going to select Preferences, and under the Units tab, you're going to select for where it says, it might say Others, or it might say Scalars. It's a Slope Ratio. You're going to select thousands, and then click OK. So now you're going to select the point tool, and you're going to construct on your diagram 3 points. And then what you're going to do is select all 3 points and make sure they're all highlighted. And then from the construct menu, you're going to select segments. So now we're going to label, so choose the label tool, and you're going to label them A, B, and C. So we have the 3 vertices in our triangle labeled. And so now what you've got to do is label the sides. So the side opposite angle A, which is BC, you're going to label as A. So we've got to change this letter or this label to lowercase a. Now the side opposite B is AC, and we're going to call that side B, lowercase b. And again, the side opposite C, side AB, we're going to change this label. So double click on the label and select and label it C. So now what you're going to do is your diagram should look like this. Your triangle should be labeled just like that. And what you've got to do is measure the sides of the triangle. So first of all, we're going to measure the length of side A, and then we're going to measure, make sure nothing else is selected. So click somewhere on the screen where there's nothing else, and going to click on side B, and we're going to select measure and length. Deselect everything by clicking on the screen, and we're going to measure the length of C. So now we have all 3 sides of our triangle measured. Now what you're going to do is measure angle ACB. And so we got to click on point A, point C, then point B in that order, and we're going to measure the angle. So our angle, so this angle here, angle C, is what we're going to call it. But Geometry Sketchpad calls it ACB, so remember that means angle C, is 75.66 degrees. Now, what we're going to do is highlight A, and we're going to calculate, and the values is going to be A, and we're going to select to the exponent 2. So that means a squared. And click OK. So now we have a value for a squared. And so now what we're going to do is select B, and from the measure menu, calculate values B, and then we're going to calculate B to the power of 2. So the little hat, then 2. And that means B squared. So now we have a value for B squared. And we're going to select C, the measurement for C, and then we're going to go to the calculate menu and values C to the exponent 2 and click OK. All right, so now we've got, we're going to select cosine. We've got to figure out the cosine of angle C. So we're going to select measurement of ACB, and again, this is this angle C, and we're going to measure and calculate, and from the functions menu, we're going to select cosine, of angle A, or sorry, angle ACB, which is angle C. And so now click OK. So now we have the measure of cosine of C, and that's what that is, and that's what you're going to use, the value you're going to use for your chart. So now we're going to select A squared and B squared and go to the measure menu and calculate. From the values, we're going to select A squared plus, and back to the values menu again, B squared. And then you're going to press OK. So now we have a calculation for A squared plus B squared. Next, we're going to select A squared measurement, B squared measurement, and the C squared measurement. Select measure, calculate, and from the values menu, you're going to select A squared, then plus B squared, then minus, and from the values menu again, C squared, and click OK. So now we've got A squared plus B squared minus C squared. Then we're going to select the measurement for A, B, and cosine of angle C, which is cosine measurement ACB, angle ACB. So we're going to go to the measure menu and calculate, and we're going to put input 2 times, from the values menu, A, and the little star is times, value from the values menu, B, then times, and from the values menu again, cosine of angle C, which is cosine of angle ACB again, and then you're going to click OK. All right. And so what you're going to do next is record in your observation chart. So in your chart, you're going to put A squared, B squared, A squared plus B squared, C squared, A squared plus B squared minus C squared, and you're going to get these from your diagram. Angle ACB, the cosine of C, which is going to be on your diagram is cosine M angle ACB, so that's where you're going to get that from. And finally, you're going to put in 2AB cosine C, which is this measurement here, where it's 2AB cosine measurement angle ACB. So what you're going to do next is, after you've done that, you're going to drag the vertices around a bit and record your information for this new triangle in the chart. And when you're done, you can answer the questions and then move on with the next video.